Could be. You got me.
It's a 451 Windsor. It was made in Windsor, Canada.
Hmm.
You know, sometime, Eddie, you ought to get out the encyclopedia and read the biography of Henry Ford. It's so fascinating.
Wow. You know, I read a quote from him the other day, and it stuck with me. and I'll share it with you if you want.
Yes, please.
What did it say? Before that, there's the one: if you think you're going to have a good day, then you will. and that's true. I believe in that. And then, but the one I read the other day was, the employer does not pay wages. The product does. The employer is just the one who handles the money.
I like that very much.
And that's so true.
Oh, that's very... You said
know?
Henry Ford said that?
Yeah. Yeah. My grandfather was a big fan of Henry Ford.
Well,
and he loved Fords.
I am too. I am too.
You know.
What are you, General Motors man?
You got it. And my dad was Chrysler Mopar.
Oh, really?
So my grandfather was Ford, my dad was Chrysler Mopar, and I was Chevy. Go figure. But you know, we had all three of them together. But mind you, I'm not partial to Chrysler or Ford. I think highly of them as well.
Yes.
So. Well, today's on the house. It was my pleasure.
No.
Yes.
Oh no!
Yes,
no! There's no reason.
No, I will not take anything.
Eddie, you can't do that, dear.
Well, I can't do it all the time, but when I can, I'm glad to do it.
Well, okay, I will try to pass it on, honey.
You got it. All right.
To others, and then when you get your gigs going and your music going, I will help you with the video.
I appreciate that.
And I certainly appreciate the grand gift you're giving me of $81, dear.
No problem. You know, we didn't get to do it this summer, of course. Hopefully next summer, God willing. We've done it twice in a row. The village block party.
Yes.
We played.
Oh, good.
So next summer. Hopefully it comes up, and if they decide to go with us and pick us again, we might be playing. That might be a good opportunity, perhaps. Or
it will be, yeah. And you know, we should video them.
Right.
And then we should put them on a disc or whatever you want.
Wow.
And then you can put them everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, and
right.
Everywhere.
Wow. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, you know, to be able to play right here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And they have the different, food vendors and stuff, and they close the street
definitely.
down. Yeah.
I want to tell you about the truck driver who was in a truck stop, and he was eating his lunch, and 3 men on 3 motorcycles came to the truck stop, and they came in, and one of the motorcyclists tipped over the truck driver's glass of water.
Oh boy.
And another one tipped over his cup of coffee.
Oh boy.
And a third one tipped over his plate of dinner.
Oh.
And so the truck driver got up, and he paid his bill, and he went out.
Uh-huh.
And one motorcyclist said to the other, well, he's not much of a fighter, is he? And the owner of the truck stop is looking out the window and said, he's not much of a driver either, he just drove over 3 motorcycles.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
We always have to give you a joke, don't we?
Oh yeah. I'd miss it.
Tell me again about the joke you saw on the TV on the last week.
The boy didn't want to go to school. And he was, hemming and hawing, I don't want to go, I don't feel good, I don't have to go today. And the mother said, I believe you do. You're 47, they need you, and you're the principal.
You and your wife enjoyed that, huh?
Yeah. I'm going to share the one you just told me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Well, I could visualize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good visual.
I was talking with the one neighbor out there.
Oh, there's a
Gentleman.
neighbor out there?
Yeah, he's
Did he have a
splitting
motorcycle?
wood. He has his bike in the trailer, he was telling me.
Yeah, and you talked to him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. What'd you
Seemed
talk
like
about?
a nice fella.
Yeah, he is. His name's Tom. What'd you talk about?
We talked about the cars.
Oh,
and then,
yeah?
We talked about the weather. And we talked about, his motorcycle. And he was hoping...
It's a Harley Davidson, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah. And, yeah. He seems like a nice guy.
Do you remember the Indian motorcycle, Eddie?
Yes. Yes.
It was a great motorcycle, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. There was a movie with my friend Jimmy was the one who introduced me to it.
Yeah, somebody else mentioned that movie to me.
It's about a guy with an Indian motorcycle, and he was an older man, and he went out to the salt flats, and this was a true story. And they all thought he was crazy. He was out of his mind. And he said, he wanted to break the record with this old Indian motorcycle. So here comes this older guy with an old Indian motorcycle, and the thing wouldn't start half the time, and he couldn't get it going, and everyone said, look at this guy. And they would tell him, you should probably just go back on home,
Where did he go?
He went out to the salt flats.
To the what?
The salt flats.
What's that?
Yep. It's an area, it's out in the Midwest. I can't remember exactly where it is, but there's salt on the ground, and they call it the salt flats. And it's so level, and it's so straight and vast that they take stuff out there, and that's where they test the speed record.
Oh.
And they do auto-tune testing
And
and
so
stuff
what did
like
he
that.
do with his Indian motorcycle?
He broke the new record.
He did?
He did. He did it.
Do you
And
remember what
the
the
actor, well, I'm sorry?
You remember what the record was?
I don't. I couldn't tell you. But the actor, I really love him. He's Anthony Hopkins, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
And he was good, huh?
Great, tremendous. I believe that's his name. I think I got the right name. I can see his face. He's been in a lot of movies. He's an old-time actor. He's great. But yeah, that reminded me of that, the Indian.
Good story.
Yeah, really was. When we were hanging out one night, and he said, put this movie on. I think you'll like it.
Yeah.
I started watching it. I was like, I don't know about this movie. And damn, by the end of it, it had me in tears.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It was good.
It was made, in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Really?
The Indian one.
I had no idea it was made so close.
And then
originally.
now that great big factory's all closed down.
Wow.
It was a huge factory.
Right.
And it's all closed down now.
I wonder if someone bought the name, or if maybe perhaps they will take it eventually and keep it going, or because sometimes that happens,
Yeah. And I'll tell you the one about the little boy who had the little red wagon, and when he drove it by the church, the wheels fell off. And he says,
Oh boy.
I'll be darned. And the next day, sure enough, he goes by the church and the wheels fall off, and he says, I'll be darned. And the third day he goes by the church and he thinks it's not going to happen, but the wheels fall off, and he says, I'll be darned. And at that point, the priest came out and said, that's not a good thing for you to say. You should not say, I'll be darned. You should say, I love you, God. I thank you, God. I praise you, God. So the next day he goes by the church. The wheels all fall off. He says, I love you, God. I praise you, God. I thank you, God. All of the wheels went back on, and the priest says, I'll be darned.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
Oh, and I have another good one, is that a man went to a confession, and he said, I stole some plywood from where I work to make a birdhouse. And the priest says, well, that's not so bad. And he says, well, then I wanted to make a room down cellar, so I made a room down cellar. And the priest says, well, okay. And then he says, my son got married and I added a room to the house. And the priest says, no, wait a minute, this is getting really serious. And then he says, then I put a shed out. The priest says, can you make a novena? And then the man says, well, he says, if you've got the floor plan, I've got the plywood.
Oh, I got 3 good ones today.
Yeah, that's right. I guess that's because you gave me such a good gift.
Ah, well, thank you.
Well, that's the second time you've done that, Eddie.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Well, I'm gonna...
Yeah, you have to go back to work, dear. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I know I'm looking forward to you. Let's want to pick a date, as long as we got the 3rd week of December. You want to make it a Saturday, or?
Perhaps. That might work.
Well, let's tentatively say the 3rd Saturday in December.
That sounds good.
And I think
then
you-
if something changes,
Yeah,
either way,
oh, sure.
we'll let each other know.
Sure. And we'll make it 11 o'clock?
Yes,
Yeah, that's good. All right, 3rd Saturday in December, 11 o'clock.
that's it. All
Thanks.
right, Glendora.
Thanks for being such a good friend. You always have been.
God bless you.
Yeah, I've known you quite a while, honey.
Yeah,
I think I've known you since 2012.
it's been a pleasure. And I've seen you before I actually met you.
You knew me?
Yeah, I knew of you in the area, and I knew of you from TV.
Oh.
And it's been a delight to get to meet you and get to know you better.
Yeah. We knew each other through the church and through the picnics.
Yeah.
Through the picnics that we had.
Yep,
And then I remember meeting you over in the rectory.
yep. Geez, I hope the worst is behind us with this epidemic or pandemic,
Yes, I hope so.
you know. But,
But
it's
you be
not,
careful.
Yes, you too, Glendora. It's not always easy, but, there's good to be found in it,
Oh, there is. Oh, there
I do believe,
definitely is. Yeah, that's a great thing about God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you know what? You can think, you know what? Shakespeare said in one line, this is terrific. There's good. Let's see. There's good in, there's good in the bad, and it's if your mind thinketh so. Whichever way your mind thinks. You know that's true?
It is.
You
Yeah.
can think good or you can think bad.
Right.
I'm
There's
sorry.
always something, and my dad used to say this, and it kind of goes along with that. Take what you can use and leave the rest. Something bad happens, you get lemons, you make lemonade. Right?
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Well, God bless you. I love you.
Yeah. I love you too, Eddie, and all your family.
You too. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for doing me so much good, and the rest of the world too.
You too.
Bye-bye, Eddie.
Pleasure, Glendora. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Folks, first week of November has been consumed. My, we consume time. My, we consume products. My, we consume energy. Okay, folks. Michael came back from the museum and he was hyperbole and hysteria, and all he could say was that everything practically was ruined, that it was chewed up or it was filled with water or feces or urine. And he was so vocal, prolix about everything that I never got a list from him. Well, what did you do over there from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.? I think maybe the best thing is to go to the advertiser and call one of the many ads by handymen and get an estimate on what a handyman should charge. What do you think are the steps to it? November 8th, Sunday, 2020. Well, the steps are clearly this. Find a storage unit, clean out the storage unit, go to the rugs in the museum and sort them out, those that are stained and contaminated, put them outdoors for the mice to live in for the winter. Take the good ones, if there are any, and put them in the storage unit, which we will now call Museum 2. And we will go to columns 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we will take those to Museum 2, stack them up against the rear wall, and make a chart as to what they are. If there are any damaged file boxes, see if they can be dried out. If there are boards and floors that are wet and damaged, let them dry out and proceed throughout. Then that should be enough for one day. Do not use rat poisoning. Do not plug up their holes. Let them come and go for the winter. And in the spring and summer, we will settle things with them, ask them to leave, and then we can plug up the holes and clean up the museum and paint it again and salvage anything if there is anything left. You can imagine what a heartbreaker that is for Franklin and for Glendora. We thank you all, the whole world, that we hope all of Franklin's newspaper writings are over here in Happy House 3 where they're dry and safe. We know that all of the archives are over here in Happy House 3. Michael Dumont said that the DVD discs with the paper covers, that the covers were wet. Okay, let the covers dry. Don't touch them. And I think we will do 6 columns a day, and we will not go frenetic about this. Unfortunately, many of the files have been chewed into confetti. Glendora has no personal knowledge of this at all. It's all hearsay through Michael Dumont. Michael Dumont said he'll be here tomorrow morning, Monday, November the 9th at 8 a.m. And we'll just go through those steps as we just listed below. Can you add anything to it? I wonder what the audio, there's about 5,000 audio tapes in the museum. Well, that's it. That's what comes from above. And we will do it with love, with a heart full of love. And we will do it harmlessly. And we will remember that the thing that we enjoy most is helping others. Treating others right. Helping others, we'll enjoy it. Happiness is guaranteed. We got rid of the ego. Selfishness is not allowed. We want us to have it. Peace that passes understanding. Helping others. We'll enjoy it. Happiness is guaranteed. Now, What else happened yesterday? Pat brought Glendora a very large Meals on Wheels. Meal on Wheels. It was vegetable soup. It was a slider that comes from White Tower. It's a vegetarian hamburger. She brought 2 of them on buns. She brought potato chips. She brought a iceberg lettuce salad with red peppers ground up in it. Not the hot ones, you know. With wishbone Italian dressing, I think is the best there is. She brought grapes. She brought a Twinkie from the Resource Center, which is the food pantry. They had a load of Twinkies. And our favorite potato chip, which is Frito-Lay Classic. I bought 3 bags this big, one for Madeline, one for Pat, and one for Glendora. We owe Pat the money for the medical alert. That's $29 a month. We have to call Robert Snyder. Not right now. He's busy going to church and working in the church without his brother Paul and without Bill Coonrod. We have an appointment with Terry Mooney, the funeral director, to set up the application for a county burial. We tell Terry all of our assets, which are nothing, and deliberately that way. Deliberately, that the money should all be distributed as it comes in. And then he will ask the county to pay for the funeral, which was $1,250 maximum that he can charge. And it's what you call a direct cremation, and the ashes will be sent here and go to the museum. I told you this yesterday, along with Franklin's ashes. Which museum? We're trying to make out the application to the veterans, I told you that, but we got nowhere on that. I believe we did do the voicemail, and Michael looked into an app that will tell you a joke at command. Glendora will be loyal to her joke collection, which is superb. And the joke collection is over here. Well, that's good. And the Bible passage collection. And the hymns, the list of hymns. What else? I asked Michael to load the C batteries in the CD player, no success. I asked Pat to do the same, no success. But I think it can be done. You take the new batteries that we bought and you put them in and keep out the 2 old batteries, the black ones. We bought 20 packages of cookies for the animals to feed them out the window and to feed them behind the garage. Pat read to Glendora from the Encyclopedia Britannica 2 sections of the biography of Andrew Jackson, Tennessee. People say that Mr. Biden is now President of the United States. And I guess Mr. Trump is still asking for a recount. And I never understand who elects the President of the United States. It isn't the popular vote, is it? Isn't it the Electoral College? The college that doesn't have a football team? And you remember Samuel Tilden from West Lebanon, New York, Columbia County, the next right over here, next county over. He has a beautiful mansion at the foot of Lebanon Mountain, but he won the popular vote, but it was the Electoral College that put him in. And you remember Mr. Bush down in Florida? It was the United States Supreme Court that elected him, not the people. What else is going on, my dears? The Bible passage is walking in the Spirit, living in the Spirit, and walking in the Spirit. What's that mean? That means that we will pay attention to loving others, giving out love. That's where our attention will go. That's our God. That's whom we worship. That's the first commandment. No other gods before us, no other ego before us. We will give all of our attention to loving others and helping others. And others includes animals. And no self. We'll get rid of that self, which is a fiction, which has no life of its own, which is a scam and a sham. It gets you nowhere. It seduces you. It seduces us. It gets us nowhere. Glendora, will you learn to speak in the first person plural? Words. I would like Pat or Sandy, when they come with Meals on Wheels for today, and I hope they will let me eat the leftovers of yesterday because Pat gave me so much. If they will go to the words and list you some new words. And some new jokes. And a new Bible passage, Wayne will give that to us, and a new hymn. Wayne Collins over in Pittsfield, who is so generous and so philanthropic in taking care of Glendora. I thought for a moment today, should we give this up? Should we give up Christian Science?